All right, so I'm going to show you through the MyFitnessPal diary what the sample day one would look like. So I'm going to scroll through here. So we're going to look at breakfast. I've already entered this. So you can see it's showing you the tortilla wrap. I used a low carb version. This is called Ole Extreme. You can find them at Walmart and Harris Teeter. I like these wraps. I use them for pizzas as well. I put a little bit of spinach on there. You would saute it up a little bit first. You don't have to put the spinach if you don't like it. It's just another way to get some micronutrients and some color in. I used a Walmart turkey sausage patty. I use these a lot. You could also get some turkey sausage links. Costco sells something like that, and just change up the macros a little bit. But that you could just cook that, break it up into little pieces, and put it in with your egg when you cook it. 2 whole eggs. And then you would make that wrap. You can make that ahead of time and freeze them if you'd like, or keep some in the fridge 2 days at a time. Also included in the breakfast, you'll see here the banana and the protein shake. So this is assuming you work out in the morning. You would have a banana before you work out to give yourself some carbs and energy for your workout. And then I want you to drink a protein shake right after your workout because it helps with recovery. It helps stop that cortisol spike and puts your body back into a parasympathetic state. And that's what you want. And you would follow that up right with the meal. That's why the meal is not very heavy, because you're kind of doing all of this food in the morning around your breakfast. Then we go on to the snack. So let's go back up here. So a way you can look to see, I do this a lot, where you see the add food button. You see these 3 dots next to it. Click on those dots. You can save things as a meal. So if you know you want to eat this on a regular basis as a breakfast, click Save as Meal. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it, breakfast burrito, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to show you how many carbs, fats, and proteins you have in that whole meal. Now, if I took out the banana and the shake, it's probably going to have somewhere under 20 grams of carbs and protein. The fat will probably be similar because there's really no fat in the banana or the shake. I think there's 4 grams in the shake. So that gives you an idea of what's in your meal. So when you're putting meals together, you can always kind of do that just to see where your protein numbers are, especially will help to get your protein in. But that's something I commonly do. All right, so I don't want to save that, so I'm going to go back. Now we're going to go down to the snack. So I tried to pick things that were just easy, that don't require a lot of effort, that you can just grab and go. Let's say you're going at work all day or something. You need stuff that's just easy to pick up. So these 2 good yogurts, I find these at Walmart. You can also get them in bulk at Costco, but they have a high amount of protein. So if I click on this, if you click on each individual food, it shows you what's in it. So look at this. You have 3 carbs, 2 fats, 12 grams of protein. This is a good yogurt choice if you need to get a lot of protein in, but let's say you're in a deficit and your carbs and fats are starting to get really low, but you need a lot of protein. This is a great choice. I picked this one because I just happen to like this yogurt a lot. A lot of your yogurts that are flavored have a lot of sugar in them because of the fruit content or the fruit syrup mixture they put in there. This one has 2 grams of sugar. If you scroll down here, you see that? Most of your flavored yogurts have somewhere between 10 to 20 grams. So again, this helps with cravings, keeping your sugar lower. And then I picked a piece of fruit. I picked an apple pear because I love apple pears and they're in season right now. They look like an apple, but they are a pear on the inside. They are so good if you've never tried one. You could pick any kind of fruit here. You could pick I wouldn't pick something super sugary like pineapple or mango, but maybe something like, just because of the other carbs I have in here. You could put apple there. You could put berries there, and just change your quantity to help meet your macro total for the day. So if I click on food, save as meal, this one, has about equal amounts of carbs and protein. You could save that if you just want to do that combo. So let's scroll down to lunch. So these are really easy to make, to freeze, to have ahead of time. So what I do is on the weekends, I make meals for the week. And this is a common one that I do. You can do lots of different combinations. If you look at the lunch dinner ideas, I have in the meal prep guide, it goes through different ones. So this is one of them. So this is jasmine rice, which is a serving, a half a cup, or no, sorry, this is a quarter of a cup of jasmine rice, mainly all carbs. So that's on the rice packages. It always says a fourth a cup dry is your serving. So what you have to do to figure out, well, how much is that cooked? Because you're going to cook a bunch at once to do your meal prep. You have to cook one serving of that rice, 1/4 cup serving with the amount of water it calls for, and then see what does that cook up to. So with jasmine rice, I know that cooks up to 3/4 cup cooked. So when I track it by the dry, but I put on the meal prep guide that it's 3/4 cup, so you know how much to measure out. So what I actually do is I keep a little list on my fridge of the common grains I cook, like jasmine rice, quinoa, what's another one I do? I have a wild rice blend that I do. I have a thing on there that says 1/4 cup dry equals, and then what it is cooked. So that I don't have to do that again. I can just go in and click, like here, the 1/4 cup, but I know how much to measure out when it's cooked. I track all of my meats cooked, not raw, because the numbers will be different. So this is skinless, boneless chicken thighs, and 6 ounces. And these are going to have a lot more fat in them because they're a thigh versus a breast. So I put 6 ounces of that. And then I used a sugar-free barbecue sauce. I love this barbecue sauce. They make 3 different flavors of it, plus a honey mustard, plus a ketchup. I find these at Walmart. And that's 4 tablespoons. 30 grams is 2 tablespoons on the serving. All right, so that is your lunch. If you go down to the 3 dots, you could also save as a meal again. And it will show you kind of where you're at. So I get a good balance of carbs, protein, and fats here. Then I'm going to go down to a snack. So this, I just did bell peppers and hummus. You could do something different here. You could do a single serving size hummus. I think that will be a few more calories, so it'll have more carbs and fat. So you might have to take away from somewhere else. And then 100 grams of a bell pepper is probably around a half a bell pepper or so. Then dinner. I try to do different types of proteins at each meal, so I'm just not eating chicken all day. I love pork loin, and so what I do is I buy the pork loin and I cut them up into chops and I cook them like that, and I cook my stuff ahead of time. Everything that you see listed on this food diary here can all be prepped ahead of time so that you don't have to actually cook during your day. So this was 4 ounces of pork loin, and then 4 ounces of sweet potato. Again, you can roast the sweet potato. You can cut up ahead of time and roast it. You can you stick it in the microwave and bake it. You can bake it in the oven, however you want to cook it. And then I did track the little bit of cinnamon sugar on the sweet potato, just so you can see that it's mainly carbs because it's sugar. Just because in the beginning, I want you to get in the habit of tracking everything so you know exactly what you're eating. Okay. And then if we go down to nutrition, so notice at the top it says we're at 1536 calories. But if you look on the sample meal sheet, I put that you were at 1593. So I'm going to explain why that is. So if you click on nutrition, you have 3 tabs. It comes up with the nutrients tab. This is the one I like to use the most. So it shows you your total protein and what your goal protein was and how much you have left. So right now it's showing I'm 2 grams over. Same thing with the carbs. It's showing I'm 6 grams over. Look at my fiber content, 26 grams of fiber. That is amazing. And that's because I got a lot of micronutrients in throughout my day. My sugar's pretty low at 35 grams. My fat is a little bit under at 49. And then it goes and it breaks everything down. Your saturated fat, your cholesterol, your sodium. And sodium number, that's pretty good. That's under 2,500. So there's a lot of metrics you can see through this nutrient tab. Now, if I go to macros, it shows you kind of a pie diagram that your goal was 35, you got 36. That makes sense. You're a little bit over and under because your nutrient showed you're a little bit over and under, but you've got a pretty good even split there. Now, if I go to calories, it breaks it down by meal. I don't really pay attention to the calories one so much. I look at the nutrient one. So here's why the calories don't match up. If you remember, protein has 4 calories per gram. So I would take 142 times 4 and get that number. Carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. So again, I would take 146 times 4, add that to the protein number. Then I would come down to my fats. Fats have 9 calories per gram. So I would take 49 times 9. I would add that number to the number I got for protein, carbs, and fats. And when I did that, it came out to 1593. So I was just 7 calories under versus this is telling me I'm at 1536. The reason that is that manufacturers allow food labeling to be off a percentage amount. Sometimes that means it can say you have 0 calories. Sometimes it means you can have 0 calories when you have 5 calories. So that's why you'll have some things off, especially when it comes to alcohol tracking. If you track alcohol, it's going to come up with the carbs, which come from the fruit or the sugars, but it's not tracking the alcohol macros, which is 7 calories. So that's why 100-calorie beer comes up with like 3 or 5 grams of carbs, and that's it. Well, there's no way that equals 100 calories. So don't go by this number, this calorie number. I want you to go by your macro numbers and try to hit those totals, because if you hit those numbers, then your calories will be correct when you enter food into your tracker. Okay, let's click out of this. So I hope that was helpful, and just go through, put your food in, play around with your portion sizes, and then just keep checking your nutrient tab down here at the bottom, nutrition tab, to see where you are.